All right, Smarty, listen up. Put down that stupid whatever that is. Today, we're diving into something far more important than your usual adolescent anxieties. The glorious, the terrifying, the utterly absurd world of the stock market, specifically as it pertains to this little AI bubble everyone's flapping their gums about.
Rich and AI bubble, like, are we talking about a real bubble? Like a soap bubble, but with computers? What even is an AI bubble, Rich?
Oh, Smarty, you kill me. A bubble is when a bunch of dipsticks, convinced they've found the next big thing, pump so much money into something that its value detaches from, well, reality. And right now, that something is artificial intelligence. Everyone and their talking cat is convinced AI is going to make them rich, leading to stock prices shooting higher than, well, let's just say higher than my alcohol tolerance on a Tuesday.
So, like, people are just buying everything AI? But what if it's not real, Rich? What if it crashes?
Exactly. That's the essence of the bubble, Smarty. But here's the kicker. Some folks, the slightly less imbecilic ones, are actually trying to protect themselves. They're what we call hedging, which sounds like gardening, but trust me, it's far more lucrative and involves significantly less dirt.
Hedging? Like putting up a fence around your money?
In a philosophical sense, yes. Now let me tell you about a prime specimen, a fellow named Brian-o-matic. Brian-o-matic, a math teacher, mind you, had been riding the tech wave for a decade. 80% of his life savings, Smarty, 80% in tech stocks and semiconductor companies. Talk about putting all your eggs in one dangerously high-flying basket.
Whoa, that's a lot. Was he, like, super rich?
He was doing well, Smarty, because tech stocks were soaring. But as this AI frenzy cranked up, Brian-o-matic, with his slightly superior brain, started to get that familiar tingling sensation, that uh-oh feeling. He looked around and said, "You know what? This is too much risk." And then he did something utterly brilliant, Smarty. Utterly, utterly brilliant.
What did he do, Rich? Did he invent a new kind of AI?
Even better, he sold all of it, pulled his money out of the AI-inflated tech stocks and shoved it into, wait for it, gold. Yeah, gold. The shiny, boring stuff that's been a safe haven since cavemen started trading rocks. He basically swapped his high-octane rocket fuel for a solid, albeit heavy, anchor.
Gold? But isn't gold just like old jewelry? You can't even run AI on gold, can you?
Precisely the point, Smarty. It's boring, it's stable. It's where smart people put their money when the rest of the market is acting like a meth-addled squirrel. Brian-o-matic, he saw the writing on the wall. He feared the market wasn't going to keep moving higher, so he bailed. Smart move, Brian-o-matic.
So he thinks the AI bubble is going to pop?
He certainly sensed a disturbance in the force, Smarty. And he's not alone. Even some of the big-shot players are getting twitchy. Remember Billionaire Burry, the guy who basically called the 2008 housing crash with a maniacal grin on his face? Yeah, that guy. He's making moves.
Billionaire Burry? Sounds scary. What's he doing?
He's betting against some of these high-flying AI darlings like Palantir and NVIDIA. He's shorting them, Smarty, which means he makes money if their stock prices fall. It's the ultimate contrarian move, like wearing a winter coat in July because you just know it's going to snow.
He wants them to fall? That's mean, Rich.
It's not mean, Smarty. It's business. And it shows that the pros, the ones with actual brains, are seeing the same warning signs Brian-o-matic saw. But here's where it gets truly insidious, Smarty.
Insidious? Oh no, Rich, is it going to get scary?
Terrifying, Smarty, because it's not just the big shots and the math teachers. It's everyone. Professor Sosnick, some chief strategist type, points out that the average investor, even you, Smarty, are probably exposed to this AI craze without even realizing it. See, all those index funds, like the S&P 500, they're loaded with these Magnificent Seven tech companies.
The Magnificent Seven? Are they like cowboy robots, Rich?
Close enough, Smarty. They're the biggest tech giants, and they've been pouring money into AI like it's going out of style. They make up a huge chunk of the market, so if they sneeze, everyone else catches a cold. And these everyday investors, they're trading AI shares like crazy, more than even during that ridiculous meme stock fad of 2021.
So, like, I could be in this AI thing, even if I don't know it?
Ding, 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 give the man a prize. You, Smarty, could be an unwitting participant in this grand experiment in market euphoria. And while initially companies were rewarded for throwing billions at new AI models and data centers, investors are finally starting to ask, hey, is this actually worth it?
They're asking now? After everyone's already bought in?
That's how it works, Smarty. Like Oracle, for example, they've taken on billions in new debt to build data centers for AI. And what happened? Their stock dropped. Same with CoreWeave, a cloud computing service for AI. Their stock took a hit too. It's that positive feedback loop, where good news just keeps making stocks go up, starting to turn into a negative one.
A negative feedback loop. So, like, bad news makes it go down, and then more bad news, and then it just keeps going down?
You're finally getting it, Smarty. It's like a spiral. And that's why people like Old Man Wickland are getting jumpy. Old Man Wickland, 75 years old, a retiree. He doesn't have decades to recover if the market decides to take a nosedive. He needs stability, not some AI-powered roller coaster.
Oh, so like, for him it's really serious. He can't just wait it out.
Exactly, Smarty. He had like 40% of his money in Nvidia earlier last year, but he's been steadily taking it out. Says he gets an uneasy feeling if he's got too much in any one stock. The last thing he wants is the bottom to fall out. Can you blame him? The man wants to enjoy his golden years, not spend them staring at a plummeting stock ticker.
I get that. I get uneasy just thinking about it, Rich. Like, what if my allowance was all in one Google box company and it just disappeared?
Precisely, Smarty. Now magnify that by about 1 million and add a pacemaker. Even younger investors, the ones with long-term goals, whatever those are starting to feel the pinch of overexposure. Take Danny Boy Jarrett, a mere 31 years old. He invested in Nvidia 3 years ago, and now about 2/3 of his portfolio is tied up in AI-related tech.
Whoa, that's almost as much as Brian-o-matic. But he's young, he can wait, right?
He could, Smarty, but even Danny Boy Jarrett has started to ease off. He hasn't sold his Nvidia shares, mind you, because, like a true dipstick, he's still hoping for some more gains. But he's stopped buying more. He's not buying those AI-focused ETFs anymore either. He says the boom has kind of come and gone. He thinks Nvidia's a strong company, won't fail, but he doesn't think the stock price will keep growing like a weed on steroids.
So, like, he's still in, but he's not going deeper into the well.
Precisely. He's diversified into broader market and growth funds, which is fancy talk for spreading his bets instead of putting them all on one glowing, potentially explosive AI chip. See, Smarty, it's all about balancing risk. Some people, like Brian-o-matic and Old Man Wickland, they're seeing the red flags and getting out.
And Danny Boy Jarrett, he's just being careful now.
Yeah, he's trying to surf the wave without getting completely wiped out. But then, Smarty, you have the other kind of investor, the eternal optimist, the one who thinks every stock is a lottery ticket and they've just picked the winning numbers. Enter Tamartron from Reno, Nevada.
Tamartron? Is she a robot, Rich?
Might as well be, with her unwavering confidence. She's been an Nvidia investor for years, and she has zero concerns about a market bubble. Zero, Smarty. She runs some quality and compliance software company, so you'd think she'd be, compliant with reality. But nope, she pays little mind to the noise about the AI stock run-up.
She thinks it's still going up?
Oh, she's convinced, Smarty. I don't think it's reached the top of the bell curve by any means, she says. It's on its way up. Classic investor hubris, Smarty. The belief that this time it's different. This time the laws of economics don't apply. And it's a belief that often leaves a lot of people holding the bag when the bell curve finally decides to, shall we say, descend.
So, some people are selling, some are slowing down, and some are just buying more? It sounds like everyone's just guessing, Rich.
Welcome to the market, Smarty. It's a grand psychological experiment disguised as a financial system. What you're seeing here is the beautiful, chaotic dance of human fear and greed. Brian-o-matic and Old Man Wickland, they're reacting to fear, protecting what they have. Danny Boy Jarrett is navigating that tricky middle ground, trying to stay in without getting burned. And Tamartron, she's riding the wave of greed, convinced she's unstoppable.
So, like, who's right, Rich? Who's going to win?
That, Smarty, is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or, in this case, the trillion-dollar question. The market giveth, and the market taketh away. Sometimes it giveth to the cautious, sometimes to the bold, and sometimes it just poof. You know, it's like I always say, Smarty, when everyone's screaming to the moon, that's usually when you should be checking your parachute. Or, just staying home and drinking artisanal alien moonshine.
So, like, what should I do, Rich? What about my Google box allowance?
You, Smarty, you just keep being you. Let the adults worry about their imaginary money. Your biggest financial concern should be whether that ice cream cone you're about to drop can be recovered before it hits the ground. Now, if you'll excuse me, I hear the market calling, or maybe it's just my liver. Either way, it's probably asking for more attention than it deserves. Let's get out of here before this AI bubble thing makes my brain melt even further.